I am not gonna lie to you guys, this was probably the hardest time I've ever had trying to set up my filming situation ever. I don't want to point fingers, but because somebody is sharing the desk with us today, I didn't have a lot of room to put the iPad, so we'll do some visualization, right? The base of the iPad stand is this big, right? This much of it is on the counter, the rest of it is off the counter because I want Marty's very handsome and beautiful face to be included in the video. But today I want to talk about something really important because I like to have an opinion. I'm a very opinionated person. It's something, not that I try to work on, but that I try not to so outwardly display to the world. I'm working on it. Today I'm not, however. I wanted to share with you some of my hottest takes. I'd like to point out this little guy. I think he's very special. The source. Trust me, I know some things sometimes. I almost have a college degree. Not yet. Almost 1 year. And then I'll have one. And then you can really, really trust me. Disclaimer. These are all this is in good fun. And I personally like to just hang out and be silly and to share opinions. As somebody of the Jewish ethnicity might say, this is kvetching a little bit. We're complaining, we're opinioning, but it's all for the silly goofies, and that's the most important part, I think. Let's get started. Oh, sorry, wait. Let me back up. I was looking for some emojis for the first couple slides, and, really, just to kind of, get everybody, pumped and ready to go. And I came across this guy. Anyways, let's get started. First, I refuse to thrift shoes. Almost all of my clothes, probably actually not almost all, probably I'd say 60+% of my clothes are thrifted because I have no money. I'm gonna pretend that it's because it's trendy, but it's mostly because I have no money. But the one thing I refuse to buy thrifted is shoes. I have a couple pair of shoes that are thrifted, mostly like going out shoes I'm not wearing on a regular basis. I will not buy a pair of used shoes for like the day-to-day at the thrift store. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I bought one time the all black pair of high top Converse and I loved them. I really, really wanted them. I found them in my size at the thrift store. I literally couldn't even wear them for a full day because they were broken into somebody else's foot and it was so horribly uncomfortable and I couldn't do it. If you thrift to resell, you are genuinely doing a bad thing and actually hurting people. I don't think I need to explain this too much to my audience, but I'll explain it to everybody for the sake of the argument. Basically, what people are doing right now is they go to the thrift store, find like nicer pieces of clothing, like maybe name brand stuff, whatever, resell it on websites like Depop, which is a secondhand clothing selling platform, kind of like eBay, but just for clothes, and they mark up the prices. So now thrifting is becoming more and more and more expensive, and it's becoming prohibitively such. Like I thrift partially because like my style is like really, really goes with thrifting, but mostly because I can't afford to shop anywhere else. So it is. Oh, I think I embarrassed him. I'm sorry, Marty, you can continue. Thrifting has gotten so prohibitively expensive that I can't just like be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the thrift store. No, I have to like make sure I have $30-$40 saved if I want to get like a good amount of things. And I mean, of course, buying 10, probably less than 10 at this point, like 6-ish things for $40 is a great deal, but not at the thrift store. I'm going to the thrift store because I need like cheap shit. And I'm putting a big part of that blame on resellers because it's just like, maybe I wanted that pair of Madewell jeans. Anyways, next. It unfortunately is because of them damn phones. I know that a lot of people, don't want to hear this, but I think a majority of my problems would be fixed if I did not have the damn phone. I don't want to get too much into iPad babies, though maybe I'll do a full episode on iPad babies and letting children have unlimited access to technology because it drives me up a fucking wall. I think that a lot of our problems we'll blame external forces for are because of us using our phones. Are the external forces in our phones? Yes, but like, do I need to be subjecting myself to hours of scrolling on TikTok every single day? No, it's giving me brainworms, but I do it anyways. It's something I could stop doing. it's something I could stop doing. I don't think I'm going to. All right, next. It is worth it to spend $80 on a haircut a couple times a year. I am currently still in the process of growing out a pixie cut. I had a pixie cut for a very, very long time. I had a couple periods where I tried to grow out my hair. It didn't go super well because I didn't know like how to take care of it. He's kind of staring into my soul, but that's okay. That's kind of all he does. I wish I could make it so you could see him a little bit more. Ooh.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I'm so sorry, Marty. I think that's just gonna have to be how it is. I could try to move him. Nope, I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't want to disrupt him because he's so good. I really should have just never messed with it in the first place. But anyway, so I hadn't gotten my haircut since literally like probably November of 2019. Like professionally, I'd cut it plenty myself, don't worry. I didn't want to go to like the least expensive hairstylist I could find. I found a slightly like higher up at the salon. The salon I go to has like tiers of stylists, and I chose somebody that was like middle upper range. The base pay of my haircut was, I believe, $80. I tipped 20 on top of that, and I ended up buying like a little treatment just because I hadn't gone in so long. I was like, I saved so much money not going. I'm gonna get myself a little something. But yeah, that's an expensive ass haircut. I know like most guys' haircuts, like since I had a pixie cut, I used to get men's haircuts. Now I would go to a barber who I really loved, but like that was like a $35-ish haircut, and then I tipped 20% on top of that, of course, but like that wasn't that bad, but I would have to get it more often. So getting an $80 haircut 3-ish times a year, right? That's $240. That took me a little... I was thinking of that before I finished the sentence. What 3 times 8 was. $240 a month, or, oh my God. $240 a year for hair maintenance is not that bad. Now, am I adding an extra $60 on top of that for tip? And also let me tell you something. When I'm going to get my haircut, since I do it so infrequently, I've literally only gotten 2 haircuts, professional haircuts, twice at this place. And it's been a great experience both times. I did get a different person because I wanted bangs, and she was specializing in bangs. But I take the whole afternoon. I get a coffee. I get a little lunchy lunch. I do a little shopping. And I make myself feel like a lady. And I love it. It's very important to me. I think that's like the biggest, most expensive self-care thing that I do, is like really like going out when I get my haircut and spending that money, and it makes me feel good. And I mean, my hair, like, I will need to get it cut again. I think probably, I don't know, I got it cut in July to August to September to October to November. Get it cut in October and November. I probably will get my bangs trimmed before school starts though, right, Marty? He's like, yeah, girl, you need to get your bangs trimmed. Hey, that's a pretty good view. I'm cool with that. Okay, cool. I think it's just worth it. I think that's the kind of pampering yourself. If you're gonna do like a couple like expensive things for yourself a year, I think that you should be spending money on getting your hair cut by somebody that knows your hairstyle, texture, what you want, and somebody that is really, truly talented. Next. Little treats are in fact holding me back financially. I am in a bit of a money drought right now. I think a lot of us are. But I was looking at like my bank statements, like trying to figure out, because it feels like I get paid and then immediately have no money. And I do want to say, not all of that is me. It is just impossible to fucking buy groceries right now. I also am allergic to gluten, so I have to buy gluten-free shit, which I'm not buying like gluten-free bread and stuff. Like that stuff is so expensive. I'll make it at home. I'll make my muffins at home, whatever. But still, like if you only are able to buy like meat, produce, condiments, sides, you know, like that shit adds up. And also like if I do want a gluten-free pizza, I'm gonna pay $10 for that. And it's not even like I can't make that into 2 full meals because it's made out of cauliflower. Side rant. Anyways, but I realized that, okay, getting a $5 coffee a couple times a week might not be the best idea for me. And while I do disagree with the whole, the damn kids aren't able to buy the houses because they're spending all their money on avocado toast, I will say it's not helping me like survive baseline. The money I'm spending on my little treats isn't preventing me from buying a house, but they certainly are holding me back from buying groceries. So there's that. Next. I get why people hate cats, but I still am gonna judge you and think that you're weird for it. Here's the thing. Look at this motherfucker. He is snug as a bug. People, when I talk to people that self-proclaimed cat haters, don't like cats, think they're bad pets, usually, you know, they favor dogs. I also love dogs. My parents have a dog who I literally am obsessed with and regularly cry thinking about how someday she's gonna die because I love her so much. Like, cats are so fucking chill. If you take care of your cat, respect their boundaries, give them treats sometimes, and play with them semi-regularly, like, they will love you. I got really lucky that Marty's a very well-behaved cat and that Gwen is a very well-behaved cat, but I would like to say that I think a large portion of it is that I treat them well. I think that if you don't like cats, whatever, I get it, right? They're not for everybody. The cutest little eepiest guy on earth he's just not gonna be for everybody. But I do think that if you were really, really hating cats, you hate cats so much, I think that's a little weird. Because why do you hate cats? What have you done to make a cat hate you? Next. I think we need to know a lot less about each other. I am not the first person to have said this out loud. I've seen a lot of people like on Twitter, TikTok say this. We need to know less about it. We need to know less about each other. And it makes me sad to say, but I think we really need to know less about each other. I think that sharing personal things is really important to like normalize certain things, but sometimes I'll hear like an internet story and I'm like, you shouldn't have shared that. That should have stayed in your brain. All right, finally, I think it should be genuinely illegal for venues to charge over $1.50 for water bottles. Concerts have very much so declined in the last, decade-ish. Like, nowadays, I feel like, and again, I'm not the first person to say this, concert etiquette has gotten so weird. Like, there's a certain level of mutual understanding and respect that's just, I think the environment of concerts, like, there's a bit of a nastier undertone, a tone of like dislike and disdain between concert goers. Like, I don't know, like almost because you're here, I can't get closer. Like, you standing up to enjoy the concert is bothering me. You singing along to the songs, I just want to listen to the artist perform. Like, that's not how it works. It's a concert. We're here to enjoy the music in a communal environment. And I think that is all exacerbated by the fact that while concerts are especially fucking expensive to get into right now, the refreshments inside are also so fucking pricey. Like, I've been to many concerts. I went to Surf Curse on Halloween and there was people falling, like tripping. I think there was a couple people that passed out, and water was like, I can't even remember how much it was, but it was expensive to the point that people weren't just like, oh yeah, let me just grab a bottle of water. And then the security was having to hand out water because people were getting sick and passing out. Like, why aren't, I personally think that if you can afford to host a concert, then you should be able to give out free water before people are passing out, or at the very, very least, don't charge $3+ for a bottle of water. Do you want people to be able to enjoy themselves? Do you want people to be able to, I don't know. I just think that it's ridiculous. Like, I've had to buy bottled water at concerts before, and the entire time I'm like, fuck, like, I already paid $300, whatever, for this concert, or a lot of the time it's much less, but I don't, like, even if I'm paying $50 for a concert ticket, I don't then want to pay $5-7 for a bottle of water because I'm not allowed to bring my own water in. Can't even bring like my own empty bottle. Like, I can't bring my empty hydro flask in to fill it there. You're just not allowed to bring a water bottle in at all. I think that it's awesome that amusement parks are starting to kind of key into this and allowing people to bring in closed, sealed water bottles, which I think that every concert venue should allow you to do. Because here's the thing, I know why they don't allow it. It's because they don't want people bringing in alcohol. However, people are going to anyways. You know they are. They are going to bring in alcohol. So what? If a couple people bring in some vodka in a water bottle, figure out how to reseal it so it looks like it was never opened, and in return, like, sacrificing so many people's personal health and safety because, like, I think that we have gone so far in the wrong direction. We're not always taking genuine approaches to concert safety. We're taking the ones that look good on paper, like, we should be letting people bring in sealed water bottles, or we should be giving them out for free or selling them for very cheap. Because at the end of the day, every single time somebody not passing out or not getting sick or not throwing up or not getting extremely drunk because they couldn't drink water because they could only afford to buy alcohol is always going to be more important than some random person bringing in a water bottle that has vodka in it so that they're forced to pay $10, $15 per drink. And I get it, that's reductive. I know part of it is that they don't want minors bringing in alcohol, but again, like, A, they're going to anyways. You know they're going to anyways. If people want to bring something into a concert, they are going to. There's nothing that can stop you. Like, people are always gonna figure it out. People are always gonna figure out how to sneak alcohol into concerts. But they're not gonna figure out how to sneak water in because that is less important in their heads. Water should be at every single venue, sports, music, other events that people do. I don't know. Water should be cheap and readily available, and preferably cold. I know that's a lot to ask for, but it would be nice. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any hot takes you'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. I love adding hot takes to my arsenal of hot takes. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!